Hey everybody, it's your boy, and I'm gonna talk about some drama that happened because I need content and it's fun. So, as you all probably know, the Gunt, otherwise known as Ethan Ralph, or the Ralph Retort, has got into a little bit of bother again in Portugal. Yeah, he went to Portugal again. For those of you who may be out of the loop, because I've been mostly out of the loop in regards to Ralph for many years since we last had our own interactions in the past, let's just say that things have gotten worse for him since then. And in particular, this episode is related to another episode that happened last year. Ralph went on holiday to Portugal and then ended up in a fight and got his ass beat. As you would expect, this is the man who got beat up by a woman literally the same height as him. He's a manlet who claims to be dead strong and powerful and can take on any man, yet he can't even beat up a woman. So this is the kind of person we're dealing with here. He tried to play off getting his ass beat by a bunch of Portuguese guys by saying that he took on this huge gang of guys single-handedly and didn't get knocked out, when clearly you can see that the guy had quite a lot of damage done to his face. And that is basically the preamble, the background. Fast forward to May 2022, and he's gotten himself into a pickle again. Although it's not entirely his fault, to be fair to him, and I really don't want to be fair to the Gunt, because I don't like him, and he doesn't like me, but I have to be fair to him. So Ralph decides to go on holiday to Portugal again. I guess it's some kind of weird symbolism on his part. He wants to prove to us all that he can go back there after his fight and basically have a holiday, and I guess it's a flipping the bird to the haters kind of thing. I don't know, I mean, as long as he stays out of trouble and isn't a lolcow for a couple of days, then it's all good, right? Well, that's not what Cognitive Thought was thinking about. But wait, who is Cognitive Thought? Cognitive Thought is a fellow Mancunian and former anti-SJW YouTuber, and he now goes by the name of Backwards Internet. So that's Cognitive Thought now, a cringe streamer like Ice Poseidon, Baked Alaska, even Ralph himself. But how do I know Cognitive Thought? Well, you see, we're fellow Mancunians, we were fellow anti-SJW YouTubers, and in fact, we've met several times. A very long time ago, but we met, we were friends. We were friends until he betrayed me many years ago over some bullshit, but whatever, that's in the past. So I come into this video not favouring any particular side here. I think all of them are assholes. And in an out of context compilation of stuff that Ralph put together, which some of his simps sent me, this is what Cog says.
I honestly want to get to fucking Portugal tomorrow, and if we can raise the money to get there, it'll fucking happen. This money is only going to getting me there for one fucking day to gun hunt, find the fucking cunner. I've got a friend who will happily kick the shit out of him. I'm happy to say this on stream as well. Ralph, you'll probably get the shit kicked out of you again in Portugal if I have anything to do with it, and if people get me to Portugal, it will fucking happen. That's just how it is. I know for a fact. 100%, 100%. Get to Portugal, gun hunt, that's it.
So as you see in the clip that I played, Cog is basically saying that he's going to travel to Lisbon, which is where Ralph was staying, and hunt the Gunt, go after him and beat him up. Now I understand that he needs this for the views and the attention on whatever alt-tech backwater that he happens to be in, but why would you do that? Why would you risk your freedom and your liberty in a foreign country to beat up a lolcow? Apart from that, it makes no sense. You've got better things to do. In fact, you can leech off him without having to hurt him. Physically, anyway. The guy is a lolcow. He can be milked for as long as this guy has no self-awareness and continues to put himself into shit. There is no reason for this to go the way that it did. And as you can see in the clip, although it is out of context, Cog basically stalks Ralph, and then eventually Ralph decides to square up to him. Now this is part of the video that we all saw initially when the news broke. They're talking about him, they saw him, at least that's what the clip seems to suggest, and then Ralph squares up to them, a fight ensues, and Cog's mate kicks the crap out of him, which was hilarious. It was funny, I hate to say it, but Ralph getting beat up was funny. I have no sympathy for him in that regard. He should have just been allowed to enjoy his holiday and then get into any crap of his own doing, which I guess he kind of did here. But what Cog did here, seeking him out in the foreign country to beat him up for views, is scumbaggery of the highest order. Like, Cog, I knew that you were an asshole, I knew you were a cunt, I didn't think you were this bad. I didn't think you'd go out of your way to hunt somebody down just to beat them up. I thought you were a little bit more classy than that. I didn't expect you to be nothing more than a chav. But Ralph did himself no favours here. Let's be honest, guys. All he had to do was just walk away. He could have got an Uber, got into the taxi, and driven to his hotel, and then gone and hung out in another part of Lisbon. It's a big city. There's no way that Cog and his friend would be able to find him again. It seemed to me that they just got lucky. Unless they were using some other people to try and track him down. Like maybe Ralph was also streaming at the same time, so people could pretty much coordinate roughly where he was. I don't know. And then later on, Cog admits to punching him first, although as we've seen in the clip, Ralph is the one who squares up to him first. Then Cog goes on to explain about all the stuff about having knives because Ralph was bleeding quite profusely, and that the cops let him go.
Just defending the brother-in-law.
But yeah, the funny thing is that Ralph apparently told the police or something we had a knife or something like that. So he's come up at me.
Now the
right?
police thought we had a weapon because of the damage.
Because of the damage. So he came up to me and he got squared right up in my face. And my mate, obviously, I think because he got so close to me, I punched him in the face. And then my mate came in as well and just punched him and stuff like that. It was crazy. And because of the damage to Ralph and how much blood he had on him, they thought we had a knife and we thought we'd had weapons. So we had to get patted down and everything like that. But we've given all our information to the police and they're fine with it. They just let us go. I need a drink so much. It's so hot here and warm, and then after all that stuff that happened, we spent about an hour with the police and stuff, just giving them our details, explaining we didn't stab him, getting patted down while they were looking for knives, and it's just because he was bleeding everywhere because he got punched because he squared up. It's just silly. War Eagle for 199, bro. That was insane. Did you all get in trouble? No. The police have just said to us the police have let us go. They said it's a felony and all that, and if he presses charges, they
press charges straight back. So
we'll press charges. That's what he said to us. He said if he's pressed the charges, you can press charges back.
I'm actually surprised that the cops let him go. In fact, any of them, they all should have been arrested, but apparently they were let go unless Ralph presses charges, and if Ralph presses charges, apparently Cog can too. Again, I have no sympathy for these guys. Ralph knew as soon as he squared up to Cog, that was it for him, surely. He knew a fight was going to happen. It seems to me that he must have known that they were after him because he recognised them and immediately started engaging. You're playing into the bait, Ralph, and that's your own fault. You must have known. There must have been people who saw the stream that were friends with you or friendly towards you who could have told you, hey, listen, these group of North FC idiots are going to come down and they're going to beat you. But no, instead you choose to ignore these warnings that must have been sent to you. You decided to just go up into their faces 2 against 1 and start shit. Now yes, Cog should not have laid the first punch, but you did touch him, didn't you? And that's all the justification he needed. He wasn't going to go out there and jump you in the street. That's not what he was going to do. Him and his mate are far too clever for that. No, what they were going to do is they were going to get into a position where you could see them get angry because obviously you knew about all this stuff that was said on that live stream, and they knew you were going to react first. That's all they wanted. If not, they were probably going to do something else. Maybe they would have taunted you, tried to get you to come over to them by, calling you a cunt, that kind of thing. Regardless, you took the bait. Cog, on the other hand, deserves jail time. Regardless of what we think about Ralph, and the memes are good, hell, I've been posting memes about him getting beaten up because they are funny, we can't deny that what Cog did was morally wrong. Both of these men should be considered lol cows and should all be deserving equal amounts of flack. This has taken it too far. It was fine when all the gunt posting and all the other stuff about Ralph was going on because it wasn't violent, and the only violence that happened was the stuff that Ralph got himself into because he started those fights. Kind of like now, but there's a difference now. These men went out there gunning for a fight, and they got their fight, they got their views, and I don't know what's going to happen. Is Cog going to get arrested for this? Is Ralph going to press charges? I do find it funny though that in March of last year, Ralph said that he would never ever in a million years say that he would call for the police, yet during the fight he called for the police. And what's worse is this happened in broad daylight in front of hundreds of people, and some other innocent Portuguese people got caught in the scuffle because they were trying to break it up or they just walked past them while these idiots were fighting each other. Not only does this look bad on Americans, but it already gives Brits an even worse reputation abroad than we already have when we go out on tour and have holidays and parties in Portugal and Spain. Fuck these people, all of them. I think there should be memes of Cog being a scumbag. There should be memes of Ralph getting his ass beat again. All these people should be fair game. But because Ralph has such a terrible reputation, a worse reputation than even this scummy man, well, Ralph's going to get most of the stick. And I don't care. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Until next time, I'll see you all later.